Donald Trump versus DeSantis. Who do you think would win? This is what they talk about on the podcast. This is episode 1935. Kyle Kulinski, JRE. This is a great moment in the podcast because, they just bring up this question. And I've been thinking about it. I've been hearing more about them actually coming together as a force because that would be unstoppable. Like, that would just be the greatest thing ever, in my opinion. But yeah, let's get into it. Coach Colin, subscribe.
I wanted to talk to you about Trump versus DeSantis in 2024. Who's the favorite? Who do you think wins?
I don't know. Do you think that happens? It seems like they're positioning that, right? Let's see. But wouldn't the ultimate be they combine? They combine forces. But if DeSantis thinks
never going to do that.
You don't think so?
No. Trump's ego, he would never team up. He's already been shitting on him for the past month.
Yeah, but he shit on people before and brought him into the fold. Think about all the shit that he said to Ted Cruz and all those other people.
Yeah, but the difference is Ted Cruz cucked himself to Trump. So Ted bent the knee after a while. And what happened was, that was actually a really interesting story. So he went to the RNC and he said, vote your conscience, which basically was like he wasn't endorsing Trump. He was saying, do whatever you want. I'm not endorsing him. Mm-hmm. Then he got a phone call from his billionaire donor daddy, Robert Mercer, I think his name is. And he was like, remember who you work for. And so Ted fell in line. And then he was phone banking for Trump with that Weasley face on, like, yeah, vote for Donald Trump. And so he fell in line. He fell in line. And so I don't think
DeSantis is not going to do that.
I mean, if he's smart, I don't think he would. Look, if you had a straight-up race, just Trump versus DeSantis, I actually think DeSantis could win that. But the problem for DeSantis is this. There's already a bunch of other assholes who nobody cares about who are jumping in the race, who are going to get 2%, 3%. And that all comes out of DeSantis' numbers and not Trump's numbers. So if you have a race with 10 different Republicans, 9 of them are not Donald Trump. 9 of them are splitting the non-Donald Trump vote, and there's one Trump who can win with 29% of the vote or something like that, which is likely. Which is like Nikki Haley. She seems like she's going to run. She's a fucking total donor creation. Nobody gives a fuck about her. She's been told by rich people, yeah, you're the one. Go ahead. She's going to get destroyed, right? But she runs. Mike Pompeo, he wants to run. John Bolton, like all these people are going to run. And then if you have all of them and DeSantis and Trump, you're handing it over to Trump. There are other Republicans who need to get in a room behind closed doors, talk it out, and say, look, we all have egos here, but we got to put it aside. And they should dole stuff out. DeSantis could say, all right, who wants to be Secretary of State? Who wants to be Vice President? Let's make a deal so I'm the only one running against him because that's the only way they're going to take him down.
Do you think that's how it goes? What do you
I
think
don't
happens?
because they don't have that level of organization. They don't, and you have a whole bunch of giant egos. So I think what's likely is they all run and Trump wins with like 30% of the vote. Because, it's first past the post voting. If he gets 30% and the closest to him is 21% or whatever the fuck, Trump wins.
And it's in the primary, so it's all registered Republicans.
Correct. Correct. So it's an interesting situation. And Crystal and I and Sagar as well, we've been having this debate back and forth because there was a period there after the midterm loss where there were a bunch of polls showing DeSantis up comfy on Trump. It was like DeSantis by double digits, right? And we were having the debate where I was like, no, I think DeSantis is the favorite. He is the favorite. But now, just recently, new 3 or 4 polls came out. Trump's back up double digits. And so it could be a heavyweight slugfest, but also I don't know if he has the balls to like jump right in and take him on. You know what I mean? Because he is the heir apparent. He is like Diet Donald Trump in a sense. So he might feel like if I just wait till 2028, I could probably win it. But his moment is now, right? Because in the midterms, the candidates that were most Trumpy were the ones who lost. So Carrie Lake, she was denying the election left and right. She was one of Trump's favorites. She lost. Doug Mastriano ran for governor in Pennsylvania. He lost, and he was at January 6th. He was a big-time election denier. Like all the election deniers, all the ones who really cuddled up to Trump, those are the ones who lost. The more like old-school Republicans like Kemp in Georgia, and he's a guy who said to Trump, remember Trump said, find me 11,000 votes after 2020?
Yes.
That's the guy who was like, no, I'm not going to do that. And that guy won his election easy in Georgia. So basically the more non-Trump Republicans did better. And so, there's a real weakness there. And he was siloed off on Truth Social for a while. He wasn't like, he sort of lost his normie touch a little bit. You know what I mean? He was getting too wacky. And so DeSantis was the heir apparent, but now things are changing.
Do you think that Trump comes back to all those social media platforms? Like, what is his, I read something about his deal with Truth Social that it might be up soon.
Oh, if that's true, that's interesting. I did read that he's planning on coming back to both Facebook and Twitter. I did read that. But to your point, yeah, my understanding was he had a deal with Truth. So the whole value of the company is tied to Trump being on it.
Exactly.
And so if he pulls out of that, he's pissing off a lot of people who invested a lot of money in that company, which, he's done shit like that in the past, so I don't see why he wouldn't do it now. But look, he kind of needs it. He needs to be back on Twitter. He needs to be back on Facebook.
Right, because if he's on Twitter, that's where people are going to go.
Correct.
It's more accessible. The Truth So I haven't been at Truth Social. Have you?
No.
Let's go to Truth Social and just see what an average.
They end up going to Truth Social, and Jamie can't actually register an account. It's a bunch of the clip ends there basically, but. I love the fact, like with Kyle Kulinski, I love guys who have their brain filled with that kind of stuff, because I do not have my brain filled with a bunch of, all of those things that he knew. Like, I don't fill my brain with that stuff. So anytime I meet a guy or hear a guy like that, just completely appreciate it. I honestly, I hope, I can't even tell. I think either way, let's say it was just between them and who becomes president. I think either way, you're in a good place. But the thing about it is, for me, I've always wanted to move to Florida. But I wanted to move to Florida because of DeSantis. I wanted to be there because of him. So now if he's gone, it's like, who's going to take his place? And is Florida going to stay that amazing haven that it was all through the pandemic in terms of, not even with anything, like just being able to work and just live. Like, it was such a great haven for that. Like, you could just go there and it was great. There was no worries. It was nice. So, like now it's like, I kind of want him to stay just for that, because, no matter what happens throughout the US, it's like, you need a place that's like that. You need a place that's being ran by a guy like that. But then all of a sudden it's like, what if he runs the whole country? But here's the thing though, if he starts running the whole country, he's not going to be that same guy that you saw when he was in Florida. He's going to be kind of there with a lot of things, but he's not going to be that same guy. He's not going to be able to, I don't know. And then it's like, if Trump wins, well then we get it back. We get the show back. You know what I mean? Biden's like a different type of show. It's like Monty Python. He's falling upstairs. He's like, he's running around. He's bumping into things. He's shaking hands with invisible people. That's fun. But like, if Trump comes back, you get the show. The show's back. You know what I mean? He's going to be doing some wild stuff. He's definitely going to be on Twitter. He's going to get on Twitter, and the first tweet back, he's just going to write, ha, 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 ha. And it's going to be great. We're all going to love it. You know what I mean? Comedians are just going to go, comedy goes through the roof when Trump's in office, because it's just material for days. You know what I mean? People don't even like making fun of Biden because it's sad. It's sad. It's punching down. You don't want to punch down. You want to punch up. You want to make fun of Trump, So, honestly, I think if they run, I think it's going to be Trump. I think if they're going head to head, I think Trump's going to win. And it's mainly because of everything that Kyle said. Like, all of that's 100% true. There's going to be too many people picking away at DeSantis his percentages, and it's just going to make it so he doesn't compare to Trump's, exactly like he said, that 29%, 30%. And Trump's going to take it. But then I really do think Trump would be smart enough to be like, yo, let that guy be my vice president. Why wouldn't he? Like, I don't see a reason why not. Right? He'll be a great vice president. I mean, he's a ex-military guy. Like, he's actually great. Like, as a governor, outstanding. As a vice president, he'll be incredible. Incredible. He will do all sorts of things. And you know what else I think? I think those two together in office, I think where Trump is rough around the edges, DeSantis will come in and really, really polish him out. Really polish him out. I think Trump is a lot of flash and entertainment when he's in office, and I think DeSantis will bring a lot of integrity. And I think that together, that's star power right there. That's it. That's 8 years. That's 8 years. No problem. You know what I mean? But anyway, what do you think? Who do you think's gonna win? Who are you voting for? I know you're not even gonna say that in the comments. Forget about it. But who do you think's gonna win? Who do you think's gonna take it? Who are you rooting for? All right, I'm out.